Alright, Korra. So, here we are, getting ready to jump right back into...
The next weeks.
Do you remember what happened in the last movie?
Yes, at the end, the guy who played all the scenes just become one of the good guys and just would fly in the video.
He flew away. You remember what his name was? Neo.
Neo just would fly Neo.
You remember he destroyed Mr. Smith, one of the agents?
Yes.
He blew him up from the inside.
Yes, I did.
Yep. And then he fell in love with who? Trinity? Remember her?
I like this.
Who's your favorite character?
The one at the end.
Neo?
Yes.
What'd you think of Morpheus? The leader. Okay, that's weird. Alright, well, before we get into it, ready?
Ready?
Like,
Like,
comment, subscribe, and we will be back after this.
Bye.
Doing the Superman thing.
All it doesn't mean much.
Okay, Korra, we are back. And you just finished The Matrix Reloaded.
Yes.
So, did you like it?
Yes.
How does this one compare to the first one?
Well, it was a little bit better because at the first part, it's like the guy said, "He's doing the Superman scene." Just like this. Da da da.
So you liked every time he was flying around?
Yes. When he said, "He's doing the Superman scene." Da da da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the fight scenes? Were they better in this one?
Yes, because they was very good like this.
What was your absolute favorite fight? Which one? Which was your favorite?
The first.
The first?
Fifth.
The fifth? When they were fighting on the truck?
Like this.
So, you got to meet some new bad guys. The Merovingian
And seven.
and his minions.
Yes.
Vampires, werewolves, and ghosts.
Yes.
What'd you think of them?
Crazy.
You also got to see a good old favorite, the agents. What'd you think of the agents?
Good.
But they're not as powerful anymore, are they?
Yeah, they're like.
And then you got to see a returning villain, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, he just cloned. He does clone everybody.
There's like 1,000 clones, right?
Oh, and Finny clones.
You think there's going to be infinity clones?
Yeah, because we said a lot. Right?
So is Mr. Smith your favorite villain?
Yes, because it kind of separated clones. It's like this clone.
Now, did you understand any of the story in this one, though?
Yeah.
What? What was going on in this movie?
Well, another one part when they was trying to save something or someone before they die.
Save Trinity before she dies?
Yeah. Another that part as just into the west, but I didn't know what that meant about the story.
So, basically, Zion was getting ready to fight the machines who were coming to kill them. And the machines were trying to get Neo to go back to the source of the Matrix so they could start the Matrix over again for a 7th time. But instead, he decided he's going to go save Trinity because Trinity was on the verge of dying. So now,
Like this.
yeah, when he used his Superman power to save her. And so now, they have to basically get ready for war because the machines wiped out their last line of defense before Zion, and they're still coming for Zion.
Wait, like this.
No, they're digging through the earth.
No, I mean this part.
I don't know what you're talking.
I don't know. You don't want to talk.
I didn't tell you to do that. You're doing that on your own.
I said I'm talking at the end.
Okay, so anyways, that's what was going on in this movie. You said you like this one more, though?
Yes.
And are you looking forward to the third one?
Yes.
You think that one's going to be better than this one, or you think it's going to be worse than this one?
I think it's gonna be better than this one because the fights are really cool, and hope he does it.
You're hoping for more fights in the next one?
Yes, and I hope he does the Superman scene again. Da, da, da.
Less technobabble, more fighting?
Yes. Da, da, da.
And you think Neo's going to win? Is that your prediction for the last one?
Yes, Neo must win.
Neo has to win.
Yes.
Well, guess you'll just have to wait till we watch that one and find out, huh? Alright. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up this episode.
Bye.
So, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your thoughts on The Matrix Reloaded, right?
Right, and do it in the comments, please, because maybe my dad doesn't want you to come to my house, so please comment about that.
Or at least give us a like. We're having some trouble with getting comments to always work on these videos. Before we go, I do want to point out, this is less to Korra and more to the audience here, but there are some people that review this movie and don't give it that high of a review, because I think a lot of people didn't understand this. Like Nostalgia Critic, there is a line where he was reviewing this movie and he talks about the architect scene and how the architect is basically explaining everything to Neo and how it sounds like gibberish, but then he goes on to explain basically verbatim what the architect was saying to Neo. And there's also this thing where he's like, well, why didn't Neo go back out the other door that leads to the kitchen? When you can clearly see both doors do not lead back to any kitchen. Once the door closes, you need a key to open it to take you to that kitchen. And there was no key. And Nostalgia Critic didn't understand that bit. So be very careful. If you're watching this for the first time, be careful who you actually let tell you about the movie before you see the movie, because I actually like this one. I think each movie got better as they went on, and I'm really looking forward to the fourth one, right?
Right, he's waiting for the fourth one, not the fifth one.
I think the fourth one's gonna be awesome.
Yes, me too.
I can't wait. So that's my thoughts, and you got Korra's thoughts. I say each movie gets better as they go. But let's hear from you guys down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to click that notification bell. And we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
So now that Korra's left the room, I briefly talked about how the Merovingian closed the door, and how Nostalgia Critic made a point to say, well, why doesn't Neo just go back through the door they came in?
Alright, now this in my opinion is one of the biggest holes in the movie.
Oh no, he put us in the mountains. Alright, Critic, we need you to fly us halfway around the world in order to get us back.
Or we could just use another way to the kitchen through the office.
But there'd be mountains.
Yes, I know there'd be mountains out there, but there's still office in here. It's like our idiot Messiah. He flies thousands of miles around the globe to reach our heroes, but all he had to do was turn the fuck around and go back the way he came. He never closed the door behind him, so it's the exact same location. It would have taken him 2 minutes.
Well, the door he came in and the door he went out was the same door they came in. Which I'll show you right now. But that will prove this point.
Mark my words, boy, and mark them well. I have survived your predecessors. and I will survive you.
Yes, I know there'd be mountains out there, but there's still office in here. It's like our idiot Messiah. He flies thousands of miles around the globe to reach our heroes, but all he had to do was turn the fuck around and go back the way he came. He never closed the door behind him, so it's the exact same location.
So I'm curious, and I'm deadly serious here. If you watch the Nostalgia Critic review, what other door is he talking about? Because this door, the one right here, Merovingian is going out. This is the door Nostalgia Critic thinks that Neo should have gone back through and gone back to the kitchen. The other fact, too, is he, I guess, failed to realize that a large portion of this is the keymaker makes keys that can lead to other places. Another thing I had an issue with was the entire point he had where he said that the conversation between Neo and the architect was too confusing. But the funny part is that right after he says that in his review, he goes to basically explain, for the most part, exactly what the architect was saying to Neo.
Enters the door, locates the architect, and naturally, he spouts more philosophical speeches.
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate. While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it
Translation.
is unexpected and thus not beyond a measure of control.
Translation.
As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating...
Did we ever figure out what the fuck he was saying in this
The
scene?
inevitability of its...
This is the moment where the writing is literally so pretentious and trying so hard to sound important that nobody could understand what the hell he was saying.
A return to the source, allowing a temporary...
Dude, is this gonna be on the test? The best I can understand is that Tom is an anomaly of the Matrix that keeps popping up and the machines can't get rid of. But it sounds like he's the 6th version to do so, and this is the 6th time they're about to destroy Zion. So he has a choice where he can either save all of Zion or save his dominatrix who's about to die just like in his dream.
The door to your right leads to the source and the salvation of Zion. The door to your left leads back to the Matrix, to her, and to the end of your species.
Like, it couldn't have been that difficult for you to follow if you can parrot back exactly what he was saying. And lastly, I want to bring up the fact of another problem I had with that review. See, this is a really shoddy review when you can't even get certain details of the story correct from the clues you're given. This is what irritates me the most, when people whine and cry about showing versus telling, and then you have people in the audience who are like, well, they didn't tell us what it was. So here is the clip I want to show you.
This is the Nebuchadnezzar on approach, requesting access through Gate 3.
Nebuchadnezzar, this is Zion Control. Maintain present velocity and stand by.
Roger that, Control.
This is Zion Control, requesting immediate stand down of arms at Gate 3. We have the Nebuchadnezzar on approach. Let's open her up. Nebuchadnezzar, you are cleared through Gate 3 to Bay 7.
Roger that, Control.
Doors open, beds made. Welcome home.
No place like it.
Now, Nostalgia Critic, when he talks about this very scene, he talks about his review. Actually, better yet, here, I'll just let him say it.
Nebuchadnezzar, this is Zion Control. Maintain present velocity and stand by.
Roger that, Control.
Wait. You need to go into the Matrix just to push buttons? You need to go onto a computer to simulate going on a computer. Why don't you just go onto a computer?
You need to go into the Matrix just to push buttons? You need to go onto a computer to simulate going on a computer.
Now, it's quite clear from that scene that you have people monitoring the people who are jacked in. They are not jacked into the Matrix. They are jacked into basically loading programs. See, in the first movie, they clearly state that in order to go to the Matrix, to get into the Matrix, you have to be above a certain depth. Zion is near the planet's core, where it's still warm. There is no way those people can be in the Matrix, which means those people are in a isolated program. Now, as for you need somebody in there to dock the ship, well, let's see. To dock the ship, to open the doors to Zion, to check the passcodes. Oh yeah, and if you didn't notice, they went past a ton of turbo lasers like on the Death Star. I'm pretty sure most of the people jacked into that little program are running those turrets. Because yes, while they have a lot of people, their main goal is not to militarize every single person. Apparently. You have a lot of people who aren't being militarized. Or they would have had bigger numbers. A lot of those people are just working to keep everyone else alive. Growing or making food. Running the parts of the city that they can run. These people are very tech savvy. And, they didn't have these numbers to begin with. So when they set up Zion, the first thing they probably did was create a program, create the turbo lasers, and be able to control all those turbo lasers with just one or two people. So that way if a Sentinel did get down there and did get close to Zion, they have plenty of weapons to fire back. So I just wanted to add that in. Like I said in the video, please be careful who you let review a movie for you and tell you if it's good or not. Also, pay very close attention to the minor details. This is a major problem I had back with Star Wars when the prequels were coming out, because people were just not smart enough, I guess, is the nicest way I can put it, to pick up on the things that they were being shown versus the things they were being told. We did not need Rey to tell us that she was a great pilot the way Luke did, or the way that Anakin did. She just jumped in the ship and flew it. And we were witnessing that she can fly. Probably because she's been doing it her whole life. Working for that scrapper, who probably went off-world and took her along with him, which is conversations we can gather. We can gather that history from conversations she has later in the movie with Han. People have this weird, crazy idea that at the end of Rise of Skywalker, she decided to go live in the old Skywalker home. No, she went there to bury the lightsabers. She was actually heading back to the Falcon when she was stopped and asked a question by a stranger. She was leaving. And then she decided to watch the sunset before taking off. It was a burial rite. She was returning their weapons, the only remains of them, back to the only home any Skywalker had. She didn't know where Anakin grew up. Alderaan doesn't exist. It was destroyed. Luke's childhood home is the only home he has left. The only home that really belongs to a Skywalker, where their ancestry basically began. So, be careful. When somebody is doing a review, please try to keep in mind between what you are shown and what you are told. But I don't want to keep going on a rant. I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out more future content. I have a lot of stuff coming out. You'll notice I'm starting to put these out early, so you'll have a few days to a week knowing what's coming. I want to thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you next time.